What if we told you that the way we cook and enjoy rice could actually lower blood sugar and even support a healthier gut? Most of us have heard the advice: if you want to control blood sugar, especially as seniors, you should stay away from rice. And that's actually true. Rice has a high glycemic index, which means it can make blood sugar rise very quickly. For older adults who are trying to keep their levels steady, that can be a real challenge. Of course, portion size always matters. Eating several cups of rice in one sitting will raise blood sugar no matter what. But beyond portion control, here's the good news. With just a few simple tweaks, rice doesn't have to be off limits. Some of these hacks can increase fiber, others can slow sugar absorption, and one fascinating trick can even turn part of the rice into resistant starch, which your gut bacteria will thank you for. So today, let's walk through 7 easy rice hacks we can start using right away to enjoy rice without the guilt. Starting off with our first hack, soaking rice before cooking. It might sound too simple, but this one small step can make a big difference. When we soak rice for at least 30 minutes, and ideally up to 2 or 3 hours, we help reduce the starch on the surface of the grains. That means less of a blood sugar spike once the rice is cooked and eaten. Soaking also washes away some of the excess arsenic that naturally builds up in rice, something that seniors in particular should pay attention to, since long-term exposure can be harmful. Another bonus is that soaked rice tends to cook faster and comes out fluffier, making it easier to chew and digest, something older adults often appreciate. Some people even notice that soaked rice feels lighter on the stomach, which can be a relief if rice sometimes leaves you feeling heavy or bloated. Soaking can also enhance flavor. The grains absorb water evenly, so the rice cooks more consistently and holds its texture better, whether you're steaming it on the stove or using a rice cooker. And the best part? This hack doesn't require any extra tools or ingredients, just a little patience. Moderation note: don't soak rice overnight at room temperature. Even though cooking kills most germs, some bacteria can leave toxins that heat won't remove. If you want to soak for many hours, it's safer to keep the rice in the refrigerator. So, before you hit the cook button or put the pot on the stove, give your rice a good soak. It's a quick habit that can pay off in both blood sugar control and gut comfort. Next on the list is choosing the right type of rice. Not all rice affects our blood sugar in the same way. White rice, the one most of us eat daily, has a high glycemic index. That means it quickly turns into glucose and raises blood sugar almost immediately. But certain rice varieties have a much lower impact. Basmati rice, for example, has a naturally lower glycemic index thanks to its longer grain and higher amylose content. Brown rice keeps its brand and germ, making it richer in fiber, which slows down digestion and sugar absorption. For seniors, this slower release of glucose can make meals more stable and less likely to cause energy crashes. It also supports gut health, since the fiber in whole grain rice feeds the good bacteria in our intestines. Some people even experiment with black or red rice, which are packed with antioxidants and can add variety to the plate.
Moderation note: if you're not used to whole grain rice, introduce it gradually. Switching too fast can sometimes cause bloating or discomfort. Try mixing half white rice and half brown rice until your body adjusts. So, the next time you're at the store, don't just grab the usual bag of white rice. Explore basmati, brown, or even specialty varieties. It's one of the easiest swaps we can make for steadier blood sugar and a healthier gut.
At number 3, a simple kitchen trick that might surprise you, adding a splash of apple cider vinegar when cooking rice. Studies suggest that vinegar can help lower the glycemic impact of starchy foods by slowing down the breakdown of carbohydrates. In plain terms, this means the rice won't cause your blood sugar to spike as quickly. The process is easy. As your rice simmers, add about 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar for every cup of uncooked rice. Don't worry, the sour taste doesn't linger. Once the rice is done, you'll hardly notice it's there. Some even say it gives the rice a fluffier texture, making it a win-win for taste and health. For seniors working to manage their blood sugar, this little tweak can make a noticeable difference. It's a small, practical step that fits right into your usual cooking routine. Plus, apple cider vinegar may also support digestion by boosting stomach acid, which helps break down food more efficiently. Moderation note: apple cider vinegar is powerful, so more isn't better. Stick with small amounts, and if you have stomach sensitivities or acid reflux, start cautiously. Always pair it with food, never on an empty stomach. So next time you prepare rice, remember that a tiny splash of vinegar can turn an ordinary meal into a blood sugar-friendly dish without changing the taste you love. Coming in at number 4, cooking, cooling, and reheating rice to create resistant starch. It may sound surprising, but the way you cook and store rice can actually affect how it impacts your blood sugar. When rice is cooked and then cooled in the refrigerator for several hours, something very interesting happens. The starches inside the rice transform into what's called resistant starch. Unlike regular starch, resistant starch doesn't break down quickly into sugar. Instead, it behaves more like fiber, moving slowly through your digestive system and helping to prevent sudden spikes in blood sugar. For seniors who love rice but struggle with keeping glucose steady, this is a simple yet powerful hack. The method is easy. Cook your rice as usual, let it cool in the fridge overnight, and then reheat it before eating. Research suggests that this cooling and reheating process can reduce the glycemic response, so your blood sugar won't climb as sharply as it does with freshly cooked rice. The benefits don't stop there. Resistant starch also acts as food for the good bacteria in your gut, which supports digestion and overall gut health. That means this hack gives you a double advantage: better blood sugar control and a healthier digestive system. Moderation note: this doesn't mean you can load up your plate without limits. Portion control still matters, but compared to fresh rice, cooled and reheated rice is clearly the smarter option. You don't need to prepare a huge pot. Even making a small batch ahead of time can give you the same benefit. At number 5, here's a simple upgrade: adding oats to your rice. Here's a clever trick to make rice healthier without changing its taste too much. By adding just a small amount of oats, around 5 to 7% of the total volume, you can increase the fiber content in your meal. Fiber slows down digestion, which means the sugars in rice are released more gradually into the bloodstream. This helps keep blood sugar levels steady instead of spiking quickly. For seniors who may already be dealing with fluctuating glucose levels, this simple mix can make rice a much friendlier option. The best part is that you don't need to replace rice completely. Just stir in a handful of rolled oats while cooking, and they'll blend almost seamlessly into the dish. The flavor stays familiar, but you get the bonus of beta-glucans from the oats, powerful compounds known for supporting heart health and promoting a healthier gut. Another advantage is affordability and convenience. Oats are inexpensive, easy to find, and store well in any pantry. You don't need any special preparation. Simply add them to your pot as the rice cooks. Moderation note: be careful not to overdo it. Adding too many oats at once can change the texture of rice more than you'd like. Around 1 to 2 tablespoons per cup of uncooked rice is usually just right. If you don't have oats, you can try small amounts of barley or quinoa as alternatives, but oats are often the easiest and most practical option. Next up, at number 6, adding turmeric after cooking your rice. This hack brings both flavor and health benefits. Turmeric, the golden spice used in many traditional dishes, contains a powerful compound called curcumin. Studies suggest that curcumin may help improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation in the body, two important factors for keeping blood sugar under control. The trick here is timing. Instead of cooking the turmeric directly with the rice, sprinkle it in after the rice has been prepared. Adding it later helps preserve its active compounds and keeps the flavor fresh. You don't need much, just a pinch stirred into your portion is enough to add color, aroma, and a gentle health boost. For seniors, this is a practical way to combine everyday meals with natural support for better glucose management. Beyond blood sugar, turmeric also promotes digestive comfort and may even support joint health, something many older adults value. Moderation note: while turmeric is generally safe, it can have a strong flavor. Start small and adjust to your taste. Also, pairing it with a little healthy fat like olive oil or coconut oil can help your body absorb the curcumin more effectively. If you have fresh turmeric root available, you can grate a tiny amount and mix it in. But if not, ground turmeric powder from your spice rack works perfectly fine for this hack.
Finally, at number 7, pairing rice with fiber and protein. Eating rice by itself often leads to a quick rise in blood sugar. That's because rice digests rapidly, releasing glucose into your bloodstream in a short burst. But here's the good news. When we combine rice with fiber-rich vegetables, beans, or leafy greens, the digestion process slows down. This means glucose is released at a much steadier pace, keeping blood sugar levels under better control. Fiber acts like a natural brake, delaying how quickly the rice is broken down. Protein works in a similar way. Foods like chicken, fish, tofu, or eggs not only provide essential nutrients, but also promote a gradual, more stable release of energy. For instance, pairing rice with lentil curry, a chickpea stir-fry, or a grilled salmon salad doesn't just enhance flavor. It transforms the meal into something far friendlier for blood sugar balance. Another benefit of adding fiber and protein is satiety. When our plate includes vegetables and protein alongside rice, we feel full for much longer. This reduces cravings, prevents overeating, and helps maintain steady energy levels throughout the day. Over time, this small habit supports weight control, which is another critical factor in managing blood sugar. The beauty of this hack is its simplicity. You don't need to cut out rice or drastically change your diet. A balanced plate with rice, colorful veggies, and a protein source turns an ordinary meal into something far friendlier for blood sugar stability and overall health. We've gone through 7 powerful hacks that can transform the way rice affects our blood sugar. But before we wrap up, there's one more reminder worth keeping in mind. Portion size matters just as much as how we prepare rice. Even with all these tricks, eating too much in one sitting can still cause blood sugar spikes. Smaller servings spread throughout the day often work far better than a giant plate at once. Think of it this way. These hacks are like tools in a toolbox. You don't need to use them all at once, but the more you combine, soaking, mixing, cooling, adding fiber, and yes, watching portions, the better your body responds. And the best part? These changes are simple enough to practice every day, whether we're cooking at home or enjoying a meal with family. If you found this helpful, you'll definitely want to check out our other video on foods that naturally stabilize your blood sugar. It's the perfect next step to build on what we've just learned.